Good morning, all of my beautiful friends. It's good to see you, and I can see you because I got magic eyes so I can see into that camera. But I was doing something fun today, and I think I've done a video similar to this already once. But since my darn it, since my memory isn't what it used to be, you might find myself me repeating myself. But I'm gonna just make a crazy quilt square, one crazy quilt square. And darn it, why when I start talking and I start that racket? I just made this crazy quilt square, which I think is just beautiful. I love this. I love this. And so I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. And so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the same colors. Let me put you down here to the showroom floor. I'm going to see here some of the scraps from that one I just did. I'll put them aside though. And I'm going to use these here. These are 5-inch squares I got off of a, what they call a charm pack. But I'm going to add a black square to it. I'm going to add a black square to this. And so I'm going to show you how I do this. And you might want to try to do it the same way, or you might already know how to do it the same way, because a lot of people do crazy quilts. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stitching these pieces together. I'm going to be stitching them together. Let's see. I think I'm going to end up with 6. I think 6 will be enough. Let's try that. And, well, it doesn't really even matter where I'm putting them, so why should I be worried too much about that? Okay, I might put maybe I'll put it. I don't know. I never know when I get started on one of these is where it's going to go. Okay. Now, and my gift. Look at this. I have a Secret Santa is what I have. My Secret Santa just keeps on, like the Energizer Bunny, he just keeps on oh no, not the Energizer Bunny. It's like a Timex watch. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I don't know, whatever. But now, my Secret Santa, look, gave me this little iron, which I was using my great big old iron that I can't hardly lift anymore because it's so heavy. This is amazing especially if you're a quilter. I'm not even a quilter. I'm just starting this stuff yet. But I'm gonna just stitch these 2 pieces together here. I'm just gonna stitch them with like about 1/4 of an inch seam. Boy, does this machine need to go in for an overhaul. Then I'm going to stitch these together, and I'm just chaining them together, so I get one stitch together, and then I stitch. My foot pedal keeps sneaking away from me. I gotta find it with my foot, and then my foot, I have that neuropathy in my foot, and I can't feel too much, so that I have to feel for stuff for my little foot pedal. I call it my gas pedal. Darn it, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, now I got it pulled closer. There we go. Sorry I said that neuropathy word. I don't like to complain about my health. My health is normal for 71 years old. I'll be 72 this year. I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I made it this far. Okay, now I have sewn 4 double blocks. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew them together again. See, now I like to press. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd I put my black one? Oh, I got to sew this in. I forgot my black one. Good thing I still have that green one to go with it. Ooh, geez, Elizabeth. Good thing I still don't drive a car because, boy, I got a speeding ticket on that one. Okay, so now I forgot to put my ender there again, but oh well, that's okay. I put my leader, but not my ender. Okay, so now I got it going. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press these open. I like to press the seams flat so that the whole thing is flat when I go in to stitch some more. So I'm just going to stitch those. I'm just going to go ahead and do that, what I just said. Ooh, what the heck was that? Okay, now that's kind of weird right there. This here, black fabric, has got something on it that is almost like plasticky. It's got like a print on it, but it's almost like plasticky. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, but that's okay. We'll work around that. That's okay. We'll work around that. Now, see, when you're doing a crazy quilt, you do not have to start with these squares. I'm only starting with these squares because they just were there, just because they were there. I was digging through my fabrics and I said, ooh, I got these squares. And so they're not going to be squares when I'm done with them. I just got me a little piece of a towel right here that I'm using for my miniature ironing board, which works perfect. Okay, so now I've pressed those open. So now I'm going to stitch them together. I'll stitch these two together like this. I'm putting the pretty sides together, and I'm gonna, okay, so what do I have? 8, 9, 10 blocks total. And so now I'm gonna put them pretty sides together, and I'm gonna give that a good stitching. And then I'm going to stitch these two together. A little warm, that little arm is right there. Okay, I love that little arm. I'm telling you what's the truth. Love it. Love it, love it. What did I do with my nipper? Just had it right here in my hot little hand. Did I drop it in the floor, which like I always do? Yes, I did. There it is. Okay. I got it. I got rich. Gosh, I need my arms to be 2 inches longer. Okay, now. Okay, so now I have... Okay, now I have these. Let's see what we got here. My ironing pad here. And I want to get this pressed. I could press the seams open, but I'm just going to press them off to the side. And I think I like that a little bit better for this project. And see, so there I have one square. That's pretty just like that, isn't it? And then I'm going to press this one. I'm not going to touch too much on that black because I didn't realize that had that coating on it. Okay, so then that's good. Now I'm going to stitch these two together. Let's get them stitched together. And gotta wait for the craziness to come. It will come. The craziness will be here in just a minute. This is something, like I say, I'm doing this with with these 5-inch square blocks, but you don't really even need those 5-inch square blocks. You don't need square nothing when you're doing, you can just stitch your scraps together, which I'm going to be doing a lot more of that too once I start my series that I'm going to do with I'm going to do a series with my what did I say I was going to do? I said that on the last one. Slow stitching. I'm going to be doing a lot of slow stitching videos because right now I'm so gung-ho into that. See, so when I make my videos on whatever I'm really addicted to at the moment. Okay, now I have those sewn together. I got 10 pieces on there. It looks pretty, just like it is, doesn't it? That black one looks kind of out of place, doesn't it? But that's okay, because that I want to see what happens with that black one. I want to see what happens with that black one, because I think that black one is going to really make this here, whatever square I come up with, really make it pop. That's what I'm thinking. Better to be thinking than a thinking. Okay, let's see. Okay, now. Okay, so now let the fun begin. So I have this. Now, if I did a whole bunch of these, that would be just a regular old patchwork quilt, and it would be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut it up. So now, I like to I want my cuts to be straight so that, so I'm going to cut with a ruler in my rotary cutter. So I cut this one here. Now, but I'm not worrying too much about where I'm cutting. I'm just cutting. Because I'll be cutting some more too. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be cutting some more. So right now, okay, let's put these up here. Okay, now I'm going to take, and I just cut those apart. So I'm going to take 2 straight sides, whatever 2 straight sides, just making sure that I have different colors. And I'm going to put those 2 straight sides together there, see? I just put them together, and I'm going to stitch them together so they're there for life. And get them stitched together. I am just curious as to see what happens with that one black square. There, I forgot to use my ender again. Try to remember to use them because it sure does help. Okay, so now I'm going to, let me see if I can get that pressed real quickly. Press them edges. It just, when you press them, your whole piece is flatter. If you can do it without pressing them, you don't have to press them, but it just makes your whole piece flatter, and so you just end up with less wrinkles or something. Okay, see, so I still have this piece. Where do I want to put this one? Now, see, the thing is here, we can go...
Billy's going to be here pretty soon to pick me up and take me over there.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, I'll want to talk to him too.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to him before y'all leave.
Yeah, I won't let him get away without talking.
Okay, all right. Our son is coming to pick up Papa. That's good. And so now they got two straight sides there. You don't always have to have two straight sides though. And that's another trick of the trade here. Oh. Now I don't have a beginner or an... Oh, they're right here. Good grief, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm going to stitch down here. Okay, now I'm going to there we go. See how now how these pieces are becoming more and more fun. Just fun. That's what I call them. Just more fun. You're getting all these different shapes. Now, let's see. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to show you here what I can do. Now, I have the ones I've put together have just been the straight side against a straight side, you know, a straight edge against a straight edge, but you don't have to do that. You can, right now I'm going to go with, I'm going to take this straight side and I'm going to, this is one straight edge right here. This is a straight edge on this side, but I'm going to find somewhere in here that it's just going to fit across. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, and I'm going to sew right along this straight edge right here. Making sure I have pretty sides together. Yes, love?
Am I okay to go out in public?
Yes, you look beautiful. Okay. My husband has to know that he looks good. Do these jeans make me look fat? No, he didn't say that really, but I gave him a good haircut yesterday and a beard trim. Boy, does he look handsome. I told him I didn't know if I'm going to be able to let him go out in public anymore because somebody's going to snatch him up. I don't want nobody snatching him up. I have to sleep alone. Good grief, that'd be horrible. Okay, now let me show you, see, because now that's my seam there, see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now right where I cut that, right where I stitched that, I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to cut this extra piece off right here. So I'm just making sure I didn't cut into my seam line there. And, okay, so then, there I go with having my piece even, look how beautiful it's beginning to get. I mean, you don't hardly see, I still have a square here, I still have a square there. But them squares, I don't want them squares to be there just like for the rest of their life. I want them to change positions. There, I just ironed that one on the top. Now I want to, let's see, where should I put this one now? Because see, now I just cut this off of here. Didn't I have more squares than that? More pieces than that? That doesn't look like everything I had. Huh, maybe it is. I don't know. Have I lost my mind? Do you ever, any of you see a mind somewhere? Oh well, at least I got all my black piece. Yeah, I got my black piece. So I'm going to now take this one and I'm going to put this one across here. I'm going to put this one across here now. And this is a straight line, so I'm going to sew along that straight edge. I got my pretty sides together. Just making my presser foot stay right at the edge of that fabric, of that straight line fabric. I have to rearrange my area here just a little bit so my iron is handy yet not in the way. Okay, so now see, I just did that line, so I'm going to use my oopsie daisies. What am I doing? See how that is when you start losing your mind, how things just go cattywampus? Okay, now, cattywampus. Cattywampus. Now, so there, we got that. Now I want, let's see what I want to do. I got that piece. I think what I want to do here is I want to cut this right here on this line because I want this black. I want them black pieces to get different. Okay, how do I want them to get though? Let's see. I think I just want them, it doesn't really matter really, so why am I worried about that? I'm not worried. I'm going to cut that. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it like this. Use my ruler so I get straight edges here because it's just easier to cut straight edges. I mean so if you got one straight edge, you don't miss it, Beth. Okay, now let's see. Now, because I want more black pieces, maybe I'm going to cut this too. I'm going to just cut that just like that. Then I'm going to have that cut in, that square right there cut in half. Is this making any sense to you all? Why sew it together if you're going to cut it apart in pieces? Let's see. Okay, I like that. I like this. This one here, I feel as if I want to cut this one too. Yeah, I feel as if I want to cut this one as well, and then I'll just sew them back together. Okay, so now things fall on the floor so much here. Good thing there's a floor to catch it. I don't mind if things fall on the floor because the floor will catch it. Now I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to put these two together like this right here. I'm going to use straight edge against straight edge, and I'm going to stitch them together. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that does to our art piece. I mean, this, you can just keep going with this. You can keep going so far, and then all your pieces, there might be nothing more than an inch wide. I mean, it's just so much fun, and because there's like no rules to this, just no rules whatsoever, then it just don't matter what you're doing where you're doing it. Doesn't matter what you're doing or where you're doing it. Okay, let's see. I think what I want to do here is find my ruler. I keep laying it down in a different way. And I'm going to cut this. See, I got that straight there. I'm going to go ahead and cut this edge off. Okay, there. So I got a whole straight edge here now. That's all straight. And then this is straight. And then this piece, let's see, I could put this piece, look at here. Let's see, I think I'll put this piece along this piece. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And put those two pieces. And see, each time you take two little pieces and you sew them together, your piece is growing. It's growing, and it's getting bigger. Bigger and bigger and bigger. And See, so I like that. Now, all my little tiny all my little tiny scraps, I throw them in my shoebox back there because all those little tiny scraps will be used to stuff my dog bed. Okay, see, there's the seam I made just right here to here, and it doesn't have to be. Now see how that looks? Isn't that good? Now I'm going to go ahead and cut that little edge off of there, that little tiny piece. And even pieces like this, you know, they can be sewed together to make a bigger piece, but you can also use these in your slow stitching pieces. Okay, so now what do I have here? This piece seems a big here. That's a little much there. So I think what I want to do there is I want to cut that in half because that's just too much of that one color in my humble opinion. Okay, so there, now I cut that in half. And so then I can take this piece and maybe I will sew this, oops, pretty sides together, and sew that right here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to use go along that straight edge there. That's where I'm going to make my seam, so my seam is pretty much straight. Backwards a little bit there. And let's get that going. Okay. Now, let's see how this is looking. Looking good, looking good, looking absolutely wonderful. Wunderbar, wunderbar. See now how I've got black, black, black. No trades back. Okay, let's see. How do I want to do this one? I think maybe it doesn't really matter, Elizabeth, so why you seem to be so concerned? Wait a minute, let me give that a little press because it's getting a little bouncy there. So I'm going to give it a little press here on these newest seams. And this is just fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. You don't know what you're going to end up with. And you don't take a whole lot of time to think. Right now I'm doing a little thinking because I want them blacks to be kind of separated, sort of. So I'm going to take, let's see, I think I'm going to put these two pieces here that I have, I'm going to sew them together to make a larger piece. And I love quilts. I love quilts, but I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience actually to do a quilt. You know, to do all of the fancy quilts, you know, with all the measuring and making sure all your points match and all that stuff. I just don't have that patience. That patience is left. And I used my patience when I was raising children. So now I don't have any more patience left. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I want to put these two pieces together right here. But I don't have a straight edge to keep my edge straight. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it now. Okay, let's see. I'm going to cut it. Yes, I'm going to cut these two pieces like this so that they are straight. And none of this goes to waste. You know, you see them little pieces? No, they will not go to waste. They'll be used. And so now I'm gonna get that right there where I cut that. I'm going to get that. Where in the world is my foot thing? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to, wait a minute, my foot thing, where in the world? Oh, it turned up on its side. How'd that happen? How'd that happen? Okay, so I am going to, I got pieces here and there, so I have to lift my needle up sometime to get my pieces. Make sure they're under the needle. Okay, now let's see how this is looking. See, now this is looking good. Now what else do I have here? I don't have enough space yet. See, because now my finished, I need to have it 9 by 9. 9.5, this is 9.5 by 9.5 inch ruler. So, but I can see that it's not big enough yet. Let me pull this off. And see, you do lose a lot of real estate, you know, what they call, in the seams, but we're making art here, so don't worry about that part of it at all. Now, let's see, I'm going to take this piece that I had left over from the other piece, and I'm going to stitch this right along here. That's where that's going to go. That's going to go right there. What in the world? Why am I having such trouble with my foot pedal? It's these slippers I'm having trouble. Okay, now. Okay. See, even though I sometimes I have to move my little leader out of the way when I'm starting a seam that's not right at the edge. But even moving it away, it's still working because it's holding on to that thread so it doesn't pull that thread out of the needle. And I do a lot of times forget to put my leader and ender down. But I try to always use it. And then I don't have them long strings hanging, long threads. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, I still don't think I have a 9.5 by 9.5 inch square anywhere in this. Close, but not close, but not, yeah, close, but not close enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to cut off. See, I got it a little humpy here, and that's because maybe some of my seams were not real straight when I stitched them, and so then it gets kind of lumpy. But you know, I don't worry about that. I let that be part of the beauty of it. And okay, let's see here. I'm going to now, I need to get, let's see, see how it is? It's just everywhere. It's just everywhere. There are so many edges, just everywhere. Now, so what I need to do here is, I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut, I want to make this piece, I think here, I'm going to straighten that. Am I? Let me see what I'm going to do. Let's see what happens if I do this here. Think, think, think. See, I'm paying attention to those black ones. I don't know why. I just curious to know what would happen in my life if I put a black square in there. Okay, so now I cut that, and some of you might think this is just a waste of time. It's not, though. Oh my God, no. So now I'm going to take that piece that I just cut off of there, and I'm going to sew it back on, but I flipped it. Now, all right, and I always got to make sure that I have pretty side to pretty side, because I have at times done it wrong and then have to pull my seam out, that doesn't bother me either. I can do that. It's part of what keeps me busy and out of the saloons. Otherwise, I'd be in all them saloons, and that's no future in running to the saloons. Okay. That other one. Okay, now let's see what we have now that I just did that. Now that I've done that, went and done that, let's see. I'm gonna I still don't have it. I still don't have a 9x9. Do I? Let me check. I don't think so. Just barely not. Just barely not. Isn't that funny? Okay, now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this straight piece and I am going to put this straight piece right here. I think. I'm going to sew along this straight piece and see what happens. See what happens. I think this will work. Wait a minute. You might be learning from me as things not to do. Things not to do. Scrap and Lizzie did it, and it was dumb, so I ain't doing it. Okay, we'll work on this though. And this is not the correct, darn it, I didn't do that again, way of doing a crazy quilt. And some people will tell you that's not the right way. How did I get that so crooked? Some people might tell you that's not right. That's not how it's done. But I do things right for myself. I do things what I think will be good for me. If it makes me happy, it's right. That's the way I think. I don't follow directions very well. Directions are like not nice to me. Or maybe I'm not nice to the directions. I don't know. And although I do use patterns at times. Let's see what happens right here now. Let's see if Yep, I do have a 9x9, 9.5 by 9.5 inch square right there. And I can also see that's not completely flat underneath my ruler. And and that is okay. It's okay that's not completely flat. Because okay, I'll show you stuff. Just a minute, I'll show you stuff. Okay, I'm going to now just cut out my square. These pieces will go on another square. Okay. Let me get these pieces over here with this. And I find this to be so much fun. And if you're using, scrap fabrics, now probably most people wouldn't start with a 5x5s like I had, but I just had them, so I just thought, well, they're pretty. I'm gonna play with them because I don't know what else I would do with them because I just do scrappy stuff. That's why my name is Scrappin' Lizzie. Okay, pull all that off of there. And then we're going to pull this off of here. Okay, now I've cut all those edges off. But these edges now, see all those straight pieces? No matter the size, they're going to stitch together. I won't throw them away. And then there is my square. And so a lot of my black is still over here. A lot of my black is still over here. But that little black pieces kind of really pop. They pop. I like how they pop. And then, then what I like to do too, now because it's not real flat, let me see what I can do with my yarn. I'm going to take these now and I'm going to just press. I'm going to press that and get that. And when I'm pressing it now, those pieces that were a little bit bounced up and they're going to fold over almost and like make a little pleat. But it is making my square flat. And so, I don't know what's on that black fabric, but it wants to stick. And so I am I'm gonna, now see here, right here, it's really kind of jumbled up there and not flat at all. So I'm just gonna press it to where it is flat. Now it's pretty much flat. See, I got a real jumble right in there somehow, but that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine because you know what I'm gonna do? Now what I'm gonna do is, let me just move this over here real quickly. Let me put that over there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to put my television. Oh, good God. That is not a television. This is a sewing machine. Oh, jeez. Oh, good grief. Take my sewing machine. I put it on the zigzag. And I'm going to start going down seams. And I have on here this multicolored thread. I just learned about this multicolored thread like this. Good night, is it pretty. But I'm going to put a pretty wide zigzag on there, and I'm just going to go down these seams. Maybe not all of the seams, but maybe some of the seams. And I'm just going to go down them with a zigzag stitch. Got to the end of that one, so I'll turn it. And yep, it uses a lot of thread. Sure it does. But again, you're making an art project. This is more of what you would call textile arts. There is so much, and you start sewing something like this together, boy, you are an artist. You are an artist, because what ends up, just like when you're doing mixed media art, you don't really know what is going to result in what you're putting together. You just don't know until it's done, and then you stand back and look at it and you think, oh, wow, so much fun. So when I'm like right now, I'm just going along, and when I get to the end of a seam there, I just turn it and go down another seam with my zigzag. And it's like I'm doing the zigzag over the seams that are already there. And then that gives me a little bit more um, a little bit more personality to this art project. And you know what? Even if you're not making a quilt, even if you're only going to make one block, one square block, it is finished. It's not like you have to say, well, I've got to put 10 of these together to make a blanket. You don't have to do that. It, I mean, each block is in itself an art project. You might end up, maybe you'll make a little pillow out of it. Maybe you'll just thumbtack it to the wall just like it is. You just don't know. Then there's no real rules, see? And this is something where you make up your own rules as you go along. And I almost said what I don't ever like to say. I don't like to say I don't care. That I don't care is a horrible phrase. I hear a lot of people say that, but you know, everybody cares. Everybody cares a lot. And so, well, you could say I don't mind. I don't mind if it's all cattywampus, you know. And I got to start my, oh no, I can just go right over here. Yeah, so don't ever say I don't care, because you do care. Just say I don't mind. I don't mind if it's a little wrinkled. I don't mind. You know, that's fine. Just don't say I don't care. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because I don't like that, I don't want anybody to say I don't care. Because you do care. I know you care. You care of a lot of things. Okay. You brush your teeth at night because you care about your teeth. I know, I'm weird. But it just, when somebody says I don't care, it just kind of gives me the willies. Maybe it's just an age thing for me. But I say, don't say that you don't care, because you do care. I know you care. And so, let me see. I'm going to nip this off here because I can't find a place to go. So I'm just nip this off. Well, I probably won't go ahead and zigzag this whole thing right now, but now as I am zigzagging each seam, it is where there is a little pucker, it flattens that little pucker out. It kind of just gathers it up under the thread, and it's no longer a pucker. Okay, sweetie. And so, okay, I'm not going to go on every seam right now because I just want to show you. And not make this video too long. It takes like forever to upload them. And so anyway, there I have there's my square. So, and it's still kind of puckered a little bit over here. And where it is puckered, let me check something first. Where'd I put my, oh, there it is. Let me put my towel. See, I got a pucker here where it puckered. You know where it's puckered right there? I might just go ahead and press that pucker in and make like a pleat there, because that did pucker right there. And then I got a pucker over here too. I got a pucker over here. See? So I'm just going to press that pucker in and make it like a little pleat, or like a little dart. And if you're very, very careful, and I look up at my screen every once in a while, and I see my camera's facing the other way, so I got to reach up there and move it. Okay, see, so there I just took this pucker, folded it over, and this little pucker, and folded it over and pressed it. And then I will go ahead and iron. Now I'm going to refrigerate it, right? Put this in the refrigerator. I'm going to sew it with the zigzag right across where I made that pleat. So that'll hold that pleat and flatten that out so it's flattened. If that's what you want, you might want it to have puckers in it. That might be part of your art project. And so where was that other one? Oh, right here. And I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to put that little seam right down that where I pressed it. Now, that's my square. And I'm happy with my square. I don't need this piece here jammed up on this edge. I'm just going to snip it off of there. What the heck? Okay, now, there we go. That is what I think is beautiful. Now, see, if I were to put... Now, see, I got bigger pieces on this one than even I do up on this one. But I could sew them two together. And look how pretty that would be. But see what the difference is having the black. That's what I wanted to see, is what will it look like if I put just some black pieces in there. And it's not bad at all. And especially right here where I did the zigzag stitching with the multicolored threads. That pops that out right there really, really, really good. And so... And I like that. And you know what I was just thinking too while I was just stitching? I was stitching and talking and I still can think. Isn't that amazing? But what would be fun is to go to some of these little corners. And do I have a piece of... Oh. Okay. So anyway... I got that done. That's my square. Now, it took a lot of fabric by using them 5.5 by 5.5, 5 by 5 pieces to get it looking like this. But I love this, how that looks. I love that final outcome of that. And so I'm going to be using this on my shawl that I am making. This is going to kind of just go in there. Like these two are similar, so they'll be in separate places because my whole shawl is going to be an art project in itself. And I'm going to love wearing it. I'm going to love wearing it. And this is real wearable art. I mean, very wearable art. And that's what we need. We need, not just don't just hang your art on a wall, just wear it. If you can wear it, it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Because see how would this look? Beautiful. I'm telling you. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to read to you. Today I'm going to read out of... I've got so many choices of books to read from now in my videos. I have been blessed with so many great, great books with great things to read and great inspirational and positive things. Inspirational and positive. Now, this book is one of my very favorites. It's gosh, I got so many favorites. You Are Stronger Than You Know, words of hope and encouragement for someone living with a chronic illness. And sometimes we need hope and encouragement. We need that because there is hope. And we need to be encouraged to realize that there is always hope. There's always hope. And so let's see what I can... I got so many little chunks of paper in here for bookmarks. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, here's one that says trust your instincts. Okay, more than anything else, it is essential that you trust your instincts. You will be relying on your instincts to help guide you toward the practitioners, approaches, and treatments that make the most sense to you. Your decisions may not be made on anything more than a gut feeling or a sense. After reading or hearing about a particular approach that, wow, that sounds so right, or you may choose to find a practitioner who inspires your utmost trust, confidence, faith, and hope, and follow his or her direction. Instinct comes into play there as well, because some of the best practitioners are combining their own instincts, applying the art of medicine to making decisions about a complex and rarely clear-cut treatment approach. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, and trust what your body is trying to sell you and tell you, not sell you. And that was written by Mary J. Shonen. And right next to it here, it is still on that same subject. Inside of you lie all the answers, all the worries and confusion you harbor as you walk through your life each day. Okay, let me start that over because I was just putting a period where it didn't need to be. Inside of you lie all the answers. All the worries and confusion you harbor as you walk through life each day don't have to weigh you down and close you off from the true you, because all the answers lie within your soul. Listen to your heart. Hear your spirit as it guides you to the next positive step toward your freedom. Hear your mind's voice leading you in the right direction. You will never lead yourself wrong. And that was written by Paula Michelle Adams. Trust your instincts. Trust that gut feeling. Okay, so there we go. And that's my reading for this moment. I won't say for today because I might make another video in a few minutes. You just never know about me. It's just whatever I feel like doing. I don't know if I might go get me a sandwich or I might go take me a nap or... Anyway, God loves you. I love you. May He watch over you every step you take, every move you make. And I will see you right here on the next video. God bless.